Alright guys, today we're going to do something a little different. Just going to take you along on a move here. I just disconnected the reel, make sure we're not hot. You can see the heifers are back there. Got 12 heifers out here. We're custom grazing on this pasture this summer. So we're just going to show you guys how we move them, talk about a little stockmanship stuff, all that good stuff. So we'll pick this reel up here and give it about 2 acres on every move, and that gets them for probably, I'm moving them a little early here and there, here 7 days, so it'll probably get them 8 days. I'd like to move them more, but with the distance I am away from the pasture, just can't do that. So we'll set the reel down here. We're going to make a water divider. So we move about every 10 steps. And we put another post in. So that's kind of how the wire works. Alright, so we got our poly wire set up there. You can see we opened up a lane. So now we're going to work on our stockmanship here and move these girls. So you can see they already got their heads up. They're looking at me. There's some pretty wild ones compared to last year. Last year we had some pretty docile ones. But so kind of how it works, you'll see a lot of people would be like, hey, you're approaching them backwards, you're going to start to push them away. But actually what happens is they always want to move past you. So you can see here, I'm walking out here and they're going to go where their eyes are looking. So their eyes are looking past me right now. I'm just going to try and be kind of quiet here, and I'm just going to walk down this edge, and then we'll move behind their shoulder. They call that the balance point. And then once we move behind their shoulder, they'll start to peel out around me. You'll see, there they go. There they go. So now we got them moving. Come on, girls. And then we'll just start moving across them. There we go, there we got movement. Start moving across them like this, see here. Oop. Ooh, ooh. You can see they're pretty flighty once they get going. We don't want them to go that way. So now I'll just kind of show you. We're just going to zig it and zag it and get these little girls rolling. You can see now we got them moving. This girl's pretty friendly, this gray here. She doesn't really seem to mind too much. Ooh, don't want to get them running though. And the hard part's going to be, we got to get them to squeeze through that gate. It can be a little difficult to get them to figure that out. Let's see here, working with young cattle, and I think they are Western origin cattle too, so you're kind of dealing with all the things flightiness wise, but I'm just going to be real quiet here. Let's see, they're going to swing by me now. We'll just have to keep working with them. And with these girls, finding you kind of just, they'll eventually just get on the opposite corner of you. So I'm going to go down here in this corner, just try and pinch them out and get them to shoot through that gate, and then we'll be golden. Ooh, let's see here, just got to get them to go to the gate. I might need to get another poly wire involved to really get them to go where I want. Come on, girls. But these girls are flighty. The heifers I had last year, if you've watched any of my other videos, they're a little older. they were probably, honestly, double the weight of these guys. They're probably 1,100 pounders. These are 600-700 pounders. But what we're trying to do here is just put some pressure on these girls. See that you're already getting the, there we go. You can see I'm just kind of staying right on their pressure edge there. See, now they're kind of figuring out that I'm trying to get them to go to that gate. You can see there I just got in front of that guy. Mosquitoes are bad out here. Okay, there we go. We got one. It's got his eyes on the gate. It's crazy that their pressure and release bubble is this far away. Like you can see here, I'm clearly putting pressure on them just by doing this here. So it's hard to get them to go through the gate. You see that girl's going. So now we'll take the pressure off, take a step back. There we go. See, now we got them to go through the gate. That's the first step there. Perfect. You can see, I mean, the other thing comparing last year's heifers, substantially smaller flight zone. These girls, you can get in their flight zone in a real hurry. So now I'm going to kind of put some pressure on here across the fence because they're headed up towards that gate and I want them to push that way. And the other thing with these younger animals, same with sheep too, when I pull that wire away, they're so used to where that wire is from their old paddock that sometimes it takes some convincing to get them to go across. So we're just going to kind of put a little pressure on here, see if we can get them to start angling away here a little bit. Okay, we'll get in front of her. There we go. You see we just got in front of her balance point and turned her. Now we'll just keep moving in. See there, I started to penetrate that zone. Okay, there we go. Look at that. You can turn them just like that. Okay, now I'm just going to back off and I'm going to let them go to grazing. And as soon as they do that, they're most likely going to shoot right to the back of the pasture there. So we're just going to let them go for a minute here. You can see now they found it. So that's all it is. You can see there they're starting to run. They're like, oh crap, that fence is down. So now they're going to run all the way back up there to the back of that pasture. That was really pretty smooth. You can see here this fence is down. This wasn't actually a barrier for anything, so not too worried about that. But you can see up here, these girls they always go and explore it all the way to the back of the paddock right away. So, but that went substantially better than last time. So now I'm going to run over, grab my back fence, move my back fence up here. They're not going to have a desire to come close to me again for a little while. So I'm going to move quick here and go grab this back fence. But that's kind of how the pressure works. These are some pretty skittish little heifers here, but we're going to work on dociling them up every single time. So I'll probably sit with them for a little bit here tonight and just try to get them as comfortable with me as possible. But you can see there they're going to find that wire pretty quick if they aren't careful. Okay, so now we're going to run this wire here. We're up by the entrance gate. So this fence I actually just have cold until we need the paddock over here, because it's just pretty much servicing this one paddock. So all I do here is I need to have the wire touching. So we run it like this, and I'm just going to connect it right like that. There you go. Both those wires will be electrified, and we're just going to run this across. Look at those cows over there. These heifers are in shoulder deep grass. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's awesome. But anyways, see here how easy it is to build portable fence. A lot of guys I've talked to have been like, oh, why'd you think around with that? Just let them go out and graze. Come and look at them every once in a while. Well, I mean, look at the forage I'm growing. A lot of guys right now are already counting the days till they're gonna have to pull off or move somewhere or whatever, but I'm moving within the pasture and giving rest. So that's the only difference it makes, and it's a big one. So you can see here how easy it is to run these wires. At first it's a steep learning curve, but once you get it down, it sure is easy to run. And then so here you can see there's a hydrant here, and we're just going to build. You can see the hydrant right there is out of the paddock. So now I'm just going to build a little wire that comes on the back side here. We'll just find a soft spot if we can. Not there, maybe here. And then we'll come right over the water, and that's hot there, so I'm going to be really careful with that. I'm actually going to go and disconnect that. Okay, so you can see here I'm walking through this paddock. You can see we quote wasted a lot of forage. There's a lot trampled, but what that does is, number one, every bit of leaf you leave, it's like a solar panel that just collects sunlight and transfers it to the roots, and it grows back faster. So we're going to have pretty instant recovery since we trampled so much. But the other thing is we're keeping the seed heads down. So right now the grass is growing super fast. You can see this brome's gone to seed head already, and we just want to get around the farm and avoid that from happening. So that's a couple of the things we're trying to do. I'm actually really happy with this impact. They probably honestly could have been out here for another day and have them clean it up a little bit more, but I'm not too mad, because now when we get a good rain here tomorrow and then the day after that, we're supposed to get like an inch total. This is just going to collect this is just going to collect rainwater. So I'm very happy with the impact so far. But yeah, that's kind of what a grazed paddock looks like. So here's a cool little spot I want to show. So if we get down here, you see these little tiny clover seedlings coming up. If you remember earlier this year, I frost seeded a bunch of clover in here, and it just got choked out by the grass since we had such aggressive growth. But look at this. We got good seed to soil contact, and it germinated. So now when we graze this grass off, we'll graze this off tighter, and then next thing you know, we'll have a bunch of clover coming up. I mean, when you get down here, you can see there's some little seedlings, there's some more, there's more. You can see over here a couple bigger ones coming up now right here. So, oh man, look at this over here. Yeah, I mean, once we clear out some light, look at that right there around this manure, that's beautiful. Once we clear this grass off a little bit, boy, are we ever going to have some forage in here. It's going to be really nice. And then next year, oh man, I can't even imagine what it's going to look like next year. So yep, it's all about building soil, and it takes years. You can see we're still battling with some thistles. I clipped these off last year, and I think now we're just going to put heavy impact on them and let the grass choke it out, because that's just a pain in the butt to deal with. So yeah, but I thought I'd show that. It's pretty awesome to see my clover getting after it.